I met Jesus twice. His divine comedy left me in stitches. Welcome to a journey into the world of near-death experiences, where we explore what people see and feel when they come close to death. Our aim is to help you understand these experiences better and to offer new ideas about life and death. Whether you're new to this topic or have been here before, we're glad you're joining us. If you like what we do, please subscribe to our channel to see more of our content and help us reach more people by hitting the like button. So sit back, relax, and let's delve into the mysteries of life and beyond. Today, we're going to hear from Victor, who had a near-death experience. He'll tell us about hearing what he thought were angels singing in heaven and describe what he saw there. Let's jump into his story. My name is Victor Benford. I was 14 years old when I almost died. My brother and I used to explore the hills near our home in California. One day, we were fixing up an old bike when my brother asked me to test it down a steep hill. The bike was our pride and joy, coupled together from different parts. As I rode down the hill, I tried to slow down using the brake, but it didn't work properly, and I nearly crashed. There was no turning back. I was committed to taking the curve and gaining speed by the second. I barely had time to lean into the sharp curve and keep my wits about me. The tires scraped gravel as I leaned deeply into the curve and then sped onward down the hill. I tried the brakes again. This time, the violent upward back thrust from the pedal almost threw me off the bike. I wobbled back into balance and was by now going so fast that the tears from the wind blast were streaming past my eyes and toward my ears. The rubber tires whined as the bike picked up greater velocity. I ran through any possibility of stopping the bike, but I was running out of options, and my speed was increasing to the point that I had never before gone this fast on a bicycle. I thought that maybe the tires would act like a bumper if I used the rock wall up ahead to stop the bike. I know it sounds stupid, but I was running out of options and made the wrong choice. Maybe I had watched too many cartoons, like some weird Wile E. Coyote plan that was doomed from the start. I never heard the crash or even felt any pain as I hit the wall. The velocity I was moving at was astounding. In an instant, the wall was right in front of me, and everything went black. I was enveloped in stark darkness and don't know how long I was in this state. The ironic thing is that the rock-retaining wall I smashed into was right in front of the volunteer fire station. No one was inside to help me. All the volunteer firefighters were at their day jobs, tending the gas station, making widgets at the factory in Chino, or cutting hair. I dimmed into light, aware that I was floating among the branches and leaves of the oak trees above me. Everything was quiet, and I could hear and feel the wind rustling through the leaves. It seemed totally natural that I should be free of my body in this state. I had no desire to look upon myself crumpled within the wreckage of my bicycle. I do remember feeling sorry for that poor little boy and the injuries he sustained. This felt like my real place in the cosmos, and I was ready to go forth, even if it meant never seeing my family again. Then I heard something coming from above me, angels. I screamed with delight. The heavenly chorus was so sweet and loving that to this day, whenever I hear a choir hitting just the right notes, I well up with tears, remembering that sweet emotional moment of unbridled joy when I realized I must be dead and the angels were coming for me. I immediately found myself in darkness again, but this time it was different. The darkness wasn't enveloping me like before. I was in a tube and felt myself elevating upward. If I had looked up, I would have realized that I was looking at the interior of the tunnel and that there was light upward at the end of it. Then, as if in an elevator, I emerged to find myself standing in a field, a meadow so beautiful and infused with a life force so strong that even the blades of grass glowed with life. It was warm and quiet, like God was here. The love coming from His presence overwhelmed me with warmth and comfort. I have never felt a love like that before or since. Then I heard the singing again and looked toward the sound. In the valley just below the rolling meadow, I saw a crystalline structure that was so immense it towered above me. I wanted so badly to join the chorus. Within the sound and beauty was so all-encompassing, the air was filled with the joyous sound of 1,000,000, maybe 1,000,000,000,000 bright souls singing in euphoric harmony. They sang in praise of the Lord. Never had I ever felt so lonely. I instinctively knew that I wasn't to be a part of their joy and love. I felt their intimate connection with each other and shared an inkling of their unconditional and all-encompassing love for each other. I was apart from them, and they didn't even know I was there, standing before the crystal monolith with a broken heart, knowing that I might not be worthy. Then, an entity appeared beside me. I never looked at him, but I knew he was male. We talked not with our mouths but by a sort of telepathy, but his voice rang clearly in my head. He was gentle and straightforward. "You have to go back. This is not for you," he said. I was so crestfallen at these words. I cried out, "No, please don't make me go back. I want to stay with you." These words came from a boy who was afraid of death, and even with a Catholic upbringing, feared the grave and what lay beyond. I was answered by a loud sucking sound, and I was literally sucked back into my crumpled body. The explosion of immediate and all-encompassing pain was beyond agony. It hurt to be alive again. My head felt like it was exploding from the impact with the wall. My knuckles were smashed, bleeding, and raw from the handlebars slamming into the wall, and my death grip on the handlebars must have endured a tremendous impact when they double-punched into the rock-retaining wall. I had to extricate myself from the bike's wreckage and stumbled back up the hill. I felt like I was going to pass out and was ready to puke. My heart was broken even worse than my body. I had just been kicked out of heaven, and I was ashamed of myself. I held that secret deep inside me, knowing that my family would surely ridicule me for being crazy enough to concoct a story about dying and going to heaven. In those days, near-death experiences hadn't been popularized yet, and I had certainly never heard of such a thing. So I kept my secret shame inside me until 1993, almost 3 decades after that tragic incident. It wasn't until I read Dr. Melvin Morse's book, Closer to the Light, learning from near-death experiences of children, that I realized that there were others who shared my experiences as children. I wasn't entirely alone and maybe not so crazy after all. Through the years, I did have some deficits from my injuries, debilitating migraines that mimicked strokes and caused me agony for many years, unequal pupils because of the injury to my head. I was never taken to the doctor after the crash, and a deep shame for having gone to heaven and found lacking in character. Many people spend their lives searching for love and connection with others. They hope to find happiness and meaning in life, but sometimes life throws unexpected challenges our way. One such challenge can be a near-death experience where someone comes close to dying. These experiences can leave people feeling lost and alone, questioning their beliefs and their place in the world. Some people who have had near-death experiences describe feeling a sense of emptiness and loneliness afterwards. They may wonder why they were brought back to life and what their purpose is. For some, these experiences lead to a renewed faith in God or a greater sense of spirituality. They may find comfort in the belief that there is a greater plan for their lives, even if they don't fully understand it. Despite the challenges they face, many people hold on to hope for the future. They believe that one day they will find peace and happiness again, and they find strength in their faith and the support of others. Near-death experiences can be frightening and confusing, but they can also teach us valuable lessons about life and love. And they remind us to cherish every moment and never lose hope, no matter what challenges we may face.